All right. Like I said, trying to stay on the grind. Let's see if you can see in here real quick. I think it's gonna come together pretty nicely. With the AN style, you're able to twist this proportional valve, and also the brake line where it comes down to where you can get it in a pretty tight spot. I will say that. So, really impressed with that. Went ahead and started bleeding it. Got to go ahead and get the line lock hooked up so I can go ahead and start bleeding the front. I'm gonna say don't do what I did. I walked off and left and I almost messed up. I guess I'll find out. I know I still, this manual brake setup is set up to where like even if I have a leak on the back, it's like the fluid from the front will run to the back of it. They're not like completely divided. So the back was low, I will say that, but I still had some fluid up front, so hopefully it didn't go completely dry and lose my bench bleed on it, because you have to bench bleed these when they're brand new to start off. Make sure, if you don't know how to do that, look that up on any master cylinder setup that you get. Make sure you bench bleed it to get all the air actually out of, the actual plunger mechanism there in there. So I started bleeding it, and sure enough, I walked off and forgot it, and I had to turn around and come back and check it. As you see, all my brake fluid down here. Like I said, luckily I filled it all the way to the top, because I've seen myself do that before. So right now I actually have it up higher than the caliber, so it should stop dripping. A little bit of drip, which is still kind of amazing that it's still trying to bleed way up here, but it's not what it was when it's on the ground. So originally I left it on the ground to bleed a little bit faster, and they do make it to bleed a little bit faster if you don't want to let them drip, but I prefer to let them drip. I have done it with a pneumatic bleeder before, and it's pretty nice. It'll bleed them pretty quick. In a situation where I'm not in a rush, it's like I can just let them gravity bleed, and I guess just kind of watch it and working on other stuff. So I got to put a date on it. I should just give myself a really big crunch and say I would like to have this car out and complete by the end of the month for a show that's going to be around here the 30th, and really make myself get on it. I think that's a little tight. I do, but it's possible. It can be done. It can be done. So I need something that's really going to push me. I got to get motivated on this thing, man. It's probably getting close to 8 months. And I probably only worked on it for a month. I hit it hard for that month though, but haven't been really feeling it, honestly. But I gotta get back. I gotta get back on it. So this is it in the mix. The back, which is gonna take the longest, is pretty much bled. I gotta get caps for that so I can get that back there and get the rest of my brakes set up together. Was gonna use the stock brakes. That's what this rear end is set up for. It's set up for the stock F body brakes. Not really sure exactly how that's supposed to work, so I gotta look at the brackets and put the calipers on here and see what I come up with. We shall see. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do back here on the brakes. But yeah, nevertheless, it's in the mix. It's coming together, and just got a line lock for the front. So get it all plumbed. Make sure I got. That's the biggest thing, is I'm gonna say like getting started and make sure I got all the right fittings, and I'm not behind on a week, just waiting for fittings to come. So I got to make sure I do that. So on the Snowball Camaro, looking at a fuel pump and a fuel filter. Crazy enough, I'm not sure. Air motive, they proud of this fuel filter too. I think it might be I'm thinking it could be a wastegate situation. If it's not a wastegate situation, it's like I'm almost ready to pull the motor apart. So I'm gonna try something a little different on the wastegate and see, because it's like it's running up good to wastegate pressure, and then after that it's a problem. So something's a little fishy there. That's one of the things that I did swap. I ended up swapping the exhaust, and I ended up swapping some wastegate spring and after that it's a problem. Before that there wasn't a problem. So something fishy happened there. So more than I think it's the exhaust, I think something might have happened with the wastegate springing. So yeah, gonna try to make an adjustment on that and see what I come up with.